So here's the section where we just start. This is our bold predictions claim here. We're just gonna start shooting from half court.
We should just run through these we'll go, crazy predictions.
Yeah, we'll go one for one. My first thing is I think Drake / OVO is gonna find a female artist, and that person who with Drake ghostwriting for her is going to rule the charts for ever. Just look at Girls Need Love. And look at his verse on that. I think this dude wants to write. He says in an interview with Rap Radar, says that he wants to write for a female artist. So I think, and obviously we know the power of Drake. So I think that this would be something plausible. Go ahead.
Okay,
go into
next
this next one. This is very interesting.
Yeah, this is our lightning round. I think there's going to be so another bold prediction. There's going to be an insanely huge debate comparing Frank's next album, which I think is definitely coming this year, comparing that to his prior album Blonde, and comparing the eras, because Blonde, obviously Pitchfork named it, I don't know, #1 album of the decade. How do you follow up the best album of the decade, coming into this next decade? And how do you come back from an era so iconic as Blonde and start fresh, So I think it's going to be an insane shift in music, in the culture, in the fan base, comparing this next phase to Frank's Blonde era, which it's you shouldn't be comparing, because obviously he wants to do something different, but it's going to happen. And I think people are going to get real freaking heated, and we're going to see some really hot takes on Twitter, and some really bad takes on Twitter.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to get to Kanye level, where we spend all of the life of Pablo screaming we want old Kanye, and now we're here in 2020 and we really miss that life of Pablo era Kanye. So that's going to be something to watch out for, something to be aware of, because like you said, Twitter is just going to be hot take central, where people are just like, he's washed, he fell off, all that. So not looking forward to that. Okay, next up, I think Drake and Kanye are gonna have a collab album or EP or single, just something. I feel like we're just there's too much money on the table for them to not eventually come together, solve their differences for 2 hours or for 2 weeks, make a fire album, maybe tour, and then they can start beefing again.
And they'll never talk to each other.
Yeah. I just feel like Kanye is too sporadic for this to not be an option. I feel like it's definitely crossed his mind. We're definitely going to see pictures of them eating lunch together. and with Kanye's new journey as making secular music, I feel like he's going to maybe go down the path of forgiveness or whatever, and we'll maybe see that.
And rise to a higher being. Yeah, so moving on, next point, we kind of touched on a little bit earlier, but I think SZA will make another classic, and I think it's definitely going to come out this year. And it's going to be even bigger, because I think with Control, she was kind of just getting started. She did come out with the album before Control called Z, which was kind of put her on the map, but Control was really her step into the light. And with that, she's learned a lot, but I think what I've heard from what she said during that interview, this is going to be a crazy album that is going to elevate to a whole another level for her. So I can't wait for that.
I will say I have seen her being a lot more positive on her Instagram. And you know how we feel about R&B artists and them being happy. So something to watch out for, something to, be cautious of. Next point, I think Kendrick is going to come out with a companion film with his album, which is, relating to the conversation we had before. I think with PG Lang, obviously this new company that seems to be, again, like you said, multimedia. I think there would be a missed opportunity for him to make a multimedia company and not stretch to a film with whatever this album is, because we know Kendrick to be very abstract, very innovative with his concepts, and all of his albums have been very cinematic as is, whether it be To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Good Kid, Mad City obviously is one of the most cinematic albums ever, if not the.
Right.
So I think it's only right that he is that first rapper to really put out a film that contextualizes his album and puts it to the forefront of multimedias,
Next one of our hot takes. I said Billie Eilish will continue to grow and eventually become the number one artist globally. So if you look at the global charts on Spotify, she's like number 6 or something. You know who's number 1? Freaking Ed Sheeran is number 1 in the world. I'm not even joking.
Division's still getting played.
Bro,
like, come on, man.
That's gotta be like the most played album of all time or something.
For real.
But I think Billie Eilish,
for no reason, sorry,
with her audience continuing to grow, she's like insanely huge. It's kind of hard to conceptualize, but I think she has also just kind of getting started on her journey. She's like barely 18 years old, so she has plenty of time ahead of her and plenty of time to mature as a artist and as a person. And I think her music will gracefully mature with her, which is just crazy to think about. Just being that big, that young. But
yeah, it's scary, man. It's scary. Like, I'm sure everyone's seen that video where they're like asking her the same questions a year.
Oh yeah,
events. I think they did the 3rd edition. It's just very like, like, I don't know, like, shit, like, I'm 21 and I don't know what I would do if I was that famous. I would get canceled right away for something I said probably in this podcast. Hey guys, Francesco here. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Just want to let you know that this video is brought to you by nobody at the moment, but this is where your ad would go. All right, back to the show. My next point is, it's more of a question. Is Playboi Carti a fraud, and is he done? Because
I'm gonna need some explanation on this.
What I've been seeing lately on Twitter is that everyone seems to be beefing with Playboi Carti for some reason, but I've just seen a lot of things of him seeming to take other people's sounds he's like in the recording studio with and take them for himself. Where I'm kind of wondering, as we go into the 2020s, and obviously he had obviously 2 classics with self-titled album and Die Lit. I wonder if after this, where is he gonna go? Like, is he just gonna do more of that? Because everyone's taking that sound now and run with it. There's a song out on the radio right now that is, I equate it to if Hot Shell Ray found Playboi Carti type beats. You may know it as Roxanne by Arizona, whatever his name is. Like, my very first thought was, this is a Playboi Carti type beat. I'm starting to wonder if he's going to be able to, like you said, evolve.
My next point, this is going to be quick, short, straight to the point. Yandi will never be released. So I think I just had to say that and I think come to the reality that I don't think we'll ever get Yandi.
You're at acceptance right now?
Yeah, I'm at that point of grieving, the 5th stage of grieving, where I'm just accepting the fate.
I think I was at bargaining when the leaks were coming out, and we were just like, why, God, why?
I need it now, not later. No.
Why?
That was our denial stage.
He has to bring out freaking Jesus is King. Yeah, that was denial, sorry. My last point, I think Nicki Minaj's career is going to go down in flames. It's going to go down like the Titanic. It's going to crash and burn. It's not going to be one of those things like Jay-Z where he just kind of gracefully steps out. I think that Nicki Minaj is going to come out with an album. To the general public, I think it's going to be straight, either mid or trash, and I think she's going to scream her on her way out the door. I just don't see her age. I just don't see her bowing out graceful. She's not going to,
No.
So, and obviously, if you're a loyal listener to this podcast, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know our beef with Nicki Minaj.
Continuous beef.
Well, after I listened to Majesty, I was like, wow, I hate that song. like straight up, I was like, that is a horrible song. The sample is horrible. Eminem just rhyming words with words. And then, like, it's just there's no creative direction. The most creative was the sample, and that sample is horrible. I felt like I was listening to a kid's song. The beat drops like, and then it's like Nicki Minaj, and it's like, what the fuck am I listening?
And lastly, this is something I hold dear to my heart as my last point, my bold predictions.
I'd love to see this.
And I have some good evidence backing this up. This is a collaboration album between the Gorillaz and Tame Impala. And the evidence I have is that the Gorillaz teased this very proposition, and that one of the members of the band posted the cover of Tame Impala's Currents, the album cover, and they photoshopped the band riding through the middle of, you know how it's like a stream or whatever, like on the album cover. They're like riding through the stream on like a boat or something, and the caption was like a bunch of emojis, a bunch of like much to think about, the eyes emojis, you know. And so at that point I was like, oh shit. And then they tagged Tame Impala.
I'm in.
So
I'm in.
Yeah,
it's done. The album's done.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
That is
that might be a prediction that comes true. Yeah, very soon actually. That's the most important part, is that prediction might come very soon.
Should be crazy.
This is probably going to be the clip I use on YouTube. So definitely hit us up with your bold predictions in the comments below.
Definitely.
I think 2020 is going to be a wild decade. We were wilding in the 2010s, not gonna lie, but I think we're just gonna, it's gonna be to a whole nother level. So yeah.
What up, y'all? It's the other half of Our Thoughts podcast, Matthew Magnus. After that video, thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know what you guys thought of our bold predictions, some of our crazy hot takes, and let us know if you thought they're whack, or you agree with some of them, or you have your own hot takes. We would love to see what you have to say. Keep them in the comments down below. We read all of them and reply all of them, so let's keep that conversation going. And yeah, be sure to do all the good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be coming out with videos every single Wednesday. Catch every podcast episode on every single Monday. Usually post them Monday afternoons on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and on SoundCloud. Yeah, hit us up on Instagram. Our socials will be linked in the description below. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.